I'm not even going to do an intro. Let's get right to the editing. Alright, so this photograph was taken with the Nikon D750. I was using the Tamron 70 to 200 millimeter f2.8 lens, and I was shooting natural light. Most of my photography these days is natural light. So let's go to the information here. Alright, so the length of focus was actually 200, and I was shooting at 1/320 second. That's the shutter speed. I was shooting at 2.8 because I always shoot at the lowest aperture. And yeah, that's it for the image. Alright, so I'm just gonna go right ahead and start editing this image. If you notice, the image is not, it kind of has this hazy type of look to it. Not sure why, but sorry, I'm tired. Oh my god. Alright, so I'm going to edit this image now. Alright, so I'm not going to crop the image yet. I'm just going to edit it as is and then crop it after. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go over to the frequency separation option. You can download this action or these actions down in the description below. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is to go over to the mixer brush. The mixer brush is normally on the brush. So if you hold on brush, you can find the mixer brush on the brush. You can press B on your keyboard to get to the brushes and then search for mixer brush. Ensure that you clear the mixer brush. If this is not cleared, you just come here and you clear the brush and then put your wetness at 2%. Everything else remains the same. Alright, so I'm working on the low frequency layer right now. So let me just zoom upon my image a little bit. I'm going to work on her face. So alright, so the mixer brush is selected. I'm just going to use the bracket on the keyboard. I'm using the left bracket, well, the right bracket to get it bigger, left bracket to get it smaller. And I'm just going to brush on her face. I'm basically flattening the image right now. And flattening the image will allow you to get rid of the pimples from the model's skin, if there are any. And also if the skin is not level. For example, if one part is darker than the other or one part is raised higher than another part, you can actually just flatten the image out. So you can, for example, right here, you can just flatten it like this. So you can remove the lines or just level out the image, basically. Alright, so alright. Let me just continue doing that. The model did her own makeup and it was done well, so but you should always ensure that you have a makeup artist. I mean, try to have a makeup artist on your shoot. It's easier for you to edit when you have a makeup artist. Alright, let's look at the before and after now. So before, after. Good. So I'm going to come down to the model's neck. Alright, that looks good. So I'm flattening out the blemishes right now. There are times, you know, you don't really have to mix the entire image. For example, if the model's face is clean and the makeup was done really well, sometimes you don't really need to do any mixing. All you have to do is go right to dodge and burn. But I don't have any images like that where I can actually use to explain what I'm saying. But as soon as I get an image like that, I will definitely do a video for that. I have some people asking also for videos of, you know, to help them blend the skin. Like, for example, if the model's face is dark and the body is lighter than the face, or vice versa, how they could actually fix it. I rarely have images like that. So it's pretty hard to do a video like that. But if you have an image that you'd like me to work on, you can just send it to my email. My email is andredesignz@gmail.com. You can check the description for that as well, and I can edit the image for you. But normally that happens like if you're shooting in studio. Sometimes the light is too bright and the model's face is gets too much light, and less light is on the body, so one part is darker than the other, and sometimes the makeup may be off as well, so that can cause an issue. But what I try to do, I try to fix everything on location before I start shooting, so it's easier for me to edit. So I don't really have those problems at all anymore. Actually, I used to have those problems back in the days, but I learned to fix everything on set before I start shooting, so I don't really have a lot of editing to do. So that's one of the smart things you should actually think about doing when you're doing your shoot. Don't think about, say, hey, I'm not going to fix this now because in Photoshop I can actually remove it, or I could add this in Photoshop. No, it's best to fix everything on set before you start shooting, so you have less editing to do. Alright, so let's look at the before and after for this now. So before and after, and if you look, all the blemishes are removed just by applying the mixer brush. So you see how powerful the mixer brush is. And then to fine tune everything now, what you'll do is to go to the high frequency layer and then go over to your clone stamp, which you could press S on the keyboard for the clone stamp. For the settings, everything should be at 100%, and you're working on the current layer, which is the top layer right here. So I'm going to zoom up, and I'm just going to remove all the blemishes from the skin. And I may rush through it, but I mean, when you're editing your photos, please take your time. Do not rush to edit, because you will miss things and you will not have a perfect or close to perfect image if you miss certain things. Alright, so you just have to just take your time and remove the blemishes from the skin. Alright, that looks good. Let's look at the before and after so far. Alright. Also, guys, I always say this in my videos, I have behind the scenes coming. Honestly, I really don't have the time because of work. I have a lot of photo shoots doing, and you know, I have to make money so I can pay the bills, pay for the internet so I can upload these videos for you guys. Just bear with me a little bit. I'm going to find some time to edit the behind the scenes, because I did some photos recently that I did a video for as well. And I actually did behind the scenes for them, but I just cannot find the time to edit those videos. I mean, it's easier to do a retouch video because I barely do any editing to these videos, but for the behind the scenes it takes a little bit more time to edit these those videos. But don't worry, I'll be bringing some more behind the scene videos for studios as well. And yeah, so I'm using the clone stamp tool right now and just removing all these little imperfections, you know, little things. And you can just forward the video if you don't want to see that. But yeah, and as I said in my last video as well, some people are asking for videos of removing the subject from the background. I personally don't want to do any videos like that. I want to do videos just to teach people how to retouch, because retouching is important more than anything else. But if you have images that you want me to retouch or to remove from that background to another background, again, you can just use the email in the description and I'll just do that video. But I really don't have any image or images where I would remove from the background. Right, I would remove the subject from the background, because if I wanted to not have the subject in a certain background, I wouldn't take the photo there. But if I am doing like a studio image and I want to change like the background from a red to a white or a black or something, I mean, I'll understand that, but other than that, nah. Alright, so what I'm doing right here, I'm using the what's this, the patch tool, to remove the thread. So if you notice, I'm working on both the high and low frequency layer layer, and I'm not even removing the patch. I'm just working on both at the same time. So that's done. So I'm gonna go back over to the clone stamp tool now. So I'm just trying to let it look realistic as possible. So that looks good. Let's look at it before and after for that. Right here is kind of dark. But to be honest, guys, there's a lot of things that you don't really have to remove from your images, because people will not actually notice it. I'm just going to lower my opacity here, because right here is a little bit dark and I'm trying to blend it out. There's a lot of things that you don't really necessarily have to zoom up and remove unless you're doing a big print. If you're doing a really big print, well, that's totally different. But if you're just uploading the images to Instagram and you're not going to print them or anything like that, most of these things you don't necessarily have to remove. But because I've always been removing them, I am going to actually remove it once I see it. Alright, so I'm finished with the dodge. Well, I'm finished with the mask. I'm finished with the frequency separation and also the clone stamp. So what I'm going to do right now is to go on to dodge and burning. Dodge and burning, so I'm just going to click that. I'm going to press B on the keyboard for the brush, and my flow is going to be at 1%. I'm going to work on the burn layer first. So areas like right here, I want to burn it. I'm not going to add too much. So if you take a look, that's it. Just creating a shape for the nose, side of the nose. So do that. For the arm. So if you notice, I'm just dodging, not dodge. I'm just burning areas that are actually in the shadow or in the shadows. So that's basically what I'm doing. So anything that looks dark, I just dodge it, basically. And for the face, I know that, you know, I have to shape it, so a little darkness right there would actually shape it. This is called contouring. Yeah. So contouring gives the face a shape, basically. Alright. So let's look at the before and after for that. Before and after. That's it. Don't need to do anything else. So the bright areas now, which is the highlighted areas. I'm just gonna do that. There are times you can just to blend it out. There are times if the area is dark, you can add some dodge to it as well, just to blend it out a little bit, you know. So yeah, and try not to add too much because it's going to be obvious and you don't want it to look too fake either. All right. Alright, good. I think I want to put some right here as well. I think that's good. Let's look at it before and after. Before, after. Before, after. So if you notice, look at this. Look at the arm. See that? It was flat before and now it has shape, because I've added the contouring. Not contouring, highlighting. So that's how powerful dodge and burn is. Alright, so now I'm done with that. The next step now is to go to the camera raw. Control Shift Alt A. Oh, before I do that, I have to do Control Shift E to create a new layer. Alright, that's merging actually. So Control Shift Alt E to create a new layer. Good. Then Control J, and then Control Shift A to get the camera raw. Alright. I always like to press auto because auto normally gives me something really good and I like this. So this is auto. Let me just go back to the default and then auto. Default, auto. So auto give me a pop. And then I can just go ahead and adjust it. So I'm gonna add some more blacks to it. And then the shadow, I'm gonna bring back the shadow a little bit. Highlights, highlights right there, contrast right there. Good. And then let's see if I can do anything over by HSL hue. Let me play with the green a little bit. I could have it like that, but I'm gonna use this right here, and then this, the yellow. Oh, I'm not going to touch the yellow because if I play with the yellow, it's going to change the color of the crown, and I don't want to do that. Alright, so that's done. I don't think I need to do anything else right there. Good. Alright, so if you look at the model's arm, you realize that we have some black right here, and it doesn't look blended out. It looks patchy-ish, something like that. So what you're going to do now, I'm going to go back down to the background layer, and then I'm going to go up to the top to where it says frequency separation. And I'm going to blend out the skin some more. Alright, so I'm going to click on the frequency separation at the bottom here, Control Shift right bracket to bring it to the top, and then I'm going to work on the lower layer again. That's the low frequency layer. Then I'm going to press M on my keyboard for the mixer brush. That's my shortcut for the mixer brush. So it's going to be B for you. And then I'm going to just try to blend out this section right here. Alright, so let's look at it before and after. Before and after. So I'm just blending it out right now. Over this side as well. Alright, that looks good to me. Alright, that looks good. Don't think I need to do anything else with that. Kind of still look that way. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to... Actually, I don't think I like what I've done. I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to go back here. It seems as if that I've lost, well, you're going to lose the shape, but I don't really want to lose the shape of the what I've done previously. So I'm going to try to do it one more time and try to blend it out a little bit without really losing the shape, even though mixing will flatten the image. I just want to do it minimal. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't think I need to do anything else. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm just gonna go from the dark to the lighted area a little bit. Alright, I think that works. Yeah, that works. Alright, so the next step now is to color the image. I'm just gonna add some color balance to it. So I'm gonna come down here to the adjustment layer. Then I'm gonna go to color balance, and then I'm going to go to, what's this? Shadows. And then I'm gonna add 5. And that's it. And then I'm gonna add something new. I'm gonna go back down to the adjustment layer here, and then I'm gonna go to color lookup, And then I'm going to play with the LUTs that are right here, see what kind of effect I can actually get. Not really seeing anything that I like, but I am going to use one of them. I'm going to use one that actually pumps up the color and the contrast in the image. Maybe this one. And then I'm going to just lower the opacity way down. Maybe about right here should be good. Before and after. So it just pops the image a little bit. So that's all I want to do, just pop it a little bit. And it still keeps the color scheme of what I actually do, because that's what you want to do. You want to keep the color scheme with the your current portfolio, basically. So that's the plan. So this look close enough. Let me see. It's a little bit warm, so I'm gonna decrease it a little bit more to about 20%. Good. And then I'm just gonna add some contrast to it. So I'm gonna go down to contrast. I'm gonna add 10. Yeah, and that's it. That's good enough. So the next image I'm going to edit has to have this same type of editing style to keep that flow, you know, on my Instagram page. So that's it for the image. There's nothing else I need to do to this image right now. So I'm going to merge everything, and then I'm going to save the original image, and then I'm going to crop it for Instagram now. Alright, so the original image is saving. Good. So I'm going to go over to the crop tool. You could press C on your keyboard for the crop tool, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit right here. And then that's it. So I'm going to go over to my logo. Control T. Oh, it's right there. So I'm going to change the color because it's white. And change it to black. Good. And then I'm going to just click right here and save it to my Dropbox folder. Then I just save it to my iPhone and then upload it to the internet. I'm going to save it for, I always save a separate image for my story. So I'm going to go back to the crop right here. Then I'm going to go over to the crop tool again. I'm going to go to 16:9, then I'm going to rotate it or flip it or whatever that is. Enter. And then I'm going to click on Insta Story because that's going to save it to my Dropbox again. And then I'm going to save it from my Dropbox to my phone and then upload it to my story. So that's it for the image. Alright, so I'm done. Let me go to my YouTube channel from my Instagram. Alright, good. So, guys, I just want to thank you for 1,285 subscribers so far. I really do appreciate the support from you guys. And thank you for all the messages and everything. But please turn on the notification bell once you subscribe to my channel and just check out my work. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye.